In Chinese history, there is a question worth thinking about. A seventh-rank county magistrate in the Qing dynasty had an official annual salary of just 45 taels of silver. By ordinary people's living standards, that was not an enviable sum of money. But for a position like this, how many people throughout history were willing to spend 20 or 30 years preparing, failing again and again, and starting over each time? If you only look at the salary, none of this makes sense. What they were really competing for was not a paycheck, but something that could change an individual's and an entire family's fate. Let's start with the salary. Across Chinese dynasties, the official salaries of government officials were generally not high. During the Tang dynasty, officials were paid mostly in goods, grain, cloth, along with land entitlements tied to their rank. The higher the rank, the greater the land allocation. But these lands were bound to official status as long-term assets, not one-time payments. The Song dynasty built one of the most comprehensive civil official benefit systems in Chinese history. A long list of allowances stacked on top of each other. Grain stipends, position pay, public funds. Senior officials at the chancellor level did well, and local officials also had income from their public fields. But for lower-ranking local officials, life could still be a struggle. The Ming dynasty's official salaries were the lowest of any major dynasty. Du Yuanzhang came from poverty and deeply distrusted his officials. So, a seventh-rank county magistrate had an annual salary of just 90 shi of grain, less than 100 taels of silver. The Qing dynasty's official salary carried on the Ming dynasty's low-pay tradition. A seventh-rank magistrate received just 45 taels. The number speaks for itself. Different dynasties, different numbers, but they all shared one thing in common. On salary alone, being an official was simply not worth it. So where was the real value hidden? During the reign of the Yongzheng Emperor, the court introduced a new system, known as yanglian, the integrity stipend. In theory, it was meant to give officials enough income, so they wouldn't need to rely on corruption. But the actual numbers are what's truly striking. A seventh-rank county magistrate received an integrity stipend of 400 to 2,000 taels, depending on the region, 10 to 40 times the official salary. A fourth-rank circuit intendant received around 4,000 taels. A provincial governor, 15,000 taels. A governor general, 18,000 taels. A county magistrate, on the integrity stipend alone, was already earning dozens of times his official salary. A governor general's integrity stipend was more than 100 times his base pay. This explains why the Qing dynasty developed a strange pattern. Official salaries looked very low on paper, but the flow of wealth through the bureaucracy was enormous. And that was only what the system officially acknowledged. Beyond that, there was a whole separate set of rules, known to everyone, written down by no one. Binjing, gifts sent to superiors in summer to help them stay cool. Tanjing, gifts sent in the winter for warmth. Beijing, given when an official transferred or retired as a farewell gift. These payments were substantial in size, somewhere between courtesy and obligation. They were the lubricant that kept the system running, and an important source of officials' income. There was a saying that circulated in Ming and Qing society. Even a clean prefect, after 3 years in office, walks away with 100,000 taels of silver. This wasn't a precise statistic, but it captured what everyone in that era understood. Even an honest official, after 3 years, accumulated wealth far beyond what the salary numbers suggested. But that still wasn't everything. People who held official titles could enjoy privileges that ordinary people simply did not have, including relief from certain labor obligations and tax burdens. What did this mean in practice? For an ordinary farming family, paying taxes and performing labor service every year was a heavy burden. When a family produced someone with an official title, those burdens could be significantly reduced. More importantly, neighbors and landowners would voluntarily register their land under the name of a titled person because doing so reduced their tax exposure. This practice was extremely common. Some of it was formally sanctioned. Some of it moved along the edges of the rules. But the result was the same. Official status attracted the accumulation of land. Many officials, after retirement, became the leading families of their home regions, not by accident, but because of a chain that kept turning. Pass the exams, gain official status. Status brings exemption privileges. Privileges attract land. Land accumulates family wealth. Family wealth supports the next generation to study and enter officialdom again. Once a family entered this cycle, it was very hard to leave it. And beyond all of this, there was one more layer, harder to measure, but possibly the largest of all. A 7th-rank county magistrate controlled the judicial, administrative, and tax affairs of an entire county. Anyone with a legal dispute to resolve, a transaction to complete, a permit to obtain, all of them needed connections. All of them needed to show respect. This was not pure corruption in every case. It was the unwritten operating logic of an entire society. Administrative power itself was a source of wealth. That layer cannot be precisely measured, but its scale often exceeded all the visible income combined. And finally, one thing money could not buy, but that everyone wanted: social status. In the age of the imperial exempts, a merchant could accumulate enormous wealth and still bow. When a 7th-rank county magistrate walked by, the marriage options available to an official's family, the resources for their children, the protection and standing that came with the family name in their local community, none of that could be purchased. With money alone, becoming an official was not just a change in income. It was a transformation of the entire family's identity. So back to the original question. A 7th-rank magistrate, a salary of 45 taels. What was it worth competing for with your entire life? Because the salary was never the point. The salary was only the admission ticket. For centuries, countless scholars studied through long nights, not for those few dozen taels of silver, but to enter a completely different track in life, the integrity stipend, put income far beyond the official salary. The customary practices of Beijing and Tang from the unspoken operating rules of officialdom. Exemption privileges allowed family wealth to keep accumulating. Administrative authority itself was a resource that defied measurement, and social status was an asset that no amount of money could replace. All of that together, that is why the imperial examination system could drive tens of millions of people to stake their entire lives on a single answer sheet. What the imperial exams truly offered was not a salary. It was a ticket into the power structure itself.